supposed to know?
No. You need to come outside.
I can't deal with this right now.
Ma'am, I'm giving you the benefit of not knocking the door down. Come outside. Out of the trailer park and walk to your left.
I'm not...
You didn't let me finish, or I'll come through the door and help you come outside. Would you like the kid to see that?
Stay here, Mac.
Where you going?
Just stay here.
Where you going?
Just, please stay here. Hey, get back inside.
Ma'am.
What, Yuri? What is this? What? What is it? Would you leave me alone?
I can't do that, sweetheart.
Make some noise for Danielle Savre, please.
Hi, everyone.
Wow. So you're starring in TLC's first scripted series, written, directed, and produced by the legendary Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Wow, just the gravity of that statement, how does it make you feel?
Well, just getting cast was pretty overwhelming. And a lot of weight on my shoulders. I was like, please don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up. It's amazing. And now that I know he's such an amazing person, it's even more of a gift, so.
It must be like, you must be just gleaning so many like insights and tips just from working with the man, because it seems like he's doing everything.
Yeah, I swear he must be cloned, because I don't know how he accomplishes so much that he accomplishes, let alone every day, but within an entire year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know our schedule, but we shoot an episode a day.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about, so they shot the first season in 8 days.
Correct.
Now I did not see, was the second season shot in the same way?
Yeah, 8 episodes in 8 days.
Wow.
He kind of does it even a little under. It was like 7.5 days.
How much sleep are you getting in these days?
Not a lot, 2 to 4 hours maybe.
Wow.
But it's like boot camp. You're so immersed in it that you're kind of just like, I mean, if that went on for months, that would be an issue. But because it is so accelerated, it's not too bad.
So you must have had a really tight-knit cast in the first season, but you added a ton of new characters in the second season. Was it great to have a larger family going through this 8-day struggle with you?
Yes, and it was nice to kind of give them that warm welcome, because it is really scary. You come to set, you usually get the script about 4 days before, or all 8 scripts. So we block shoot.
Can you explain block shooting, just for anybody that's a little uninitiated?
I know, I speak this language, and I'm like, well, no one knows what I'm talking about. So basically, like every scene that was shot in my mother's trailer was shot in 1 day, or half a day. All the scenes that take place, no matter what episode they were all shot at the same time. So we, as actors, have to in our brains kind of think, okay, chronologically, where are we in the story? So kind of once you get the script about 4 days before, and these new cast members that came in were kind of like, oh my gosh, how do you guys do this? So it was nice to kind of give them some notes and tips and kind of put their nerves at ease. Because it's a little daunting. You don't want to mess up. And when you haven't worked with Tyler, you don't know how he's going to act the first day. You're like, is he a director that gets mad if you don't know your lines or you mess up? Or,
yeah.
And he's not, but thank God. But it was nice to be able to give them a warm welcome.
So you play Annie, who was sent back from DC after making it there and working so hard. And the one thing I saw you doing in an interview, you were talking about how like Annie kind of loses her accent because she worked so hard to kind of hide Alabama, but just came back and she went right back onto it.
Yeah, especially when I'm fighting with the girls or my mother, the accent comes out a little bit, which is fun to kind of play with, because at first when I asked Tyler about it, he's like, no, you don't have an accent. You've been hiding that. No one knows that you're from, the South. So it's been fun to kind of have that come out a little bit during these scenes.
So for anybody that has not tuned into the show yet, but it was renewed for a second season, and hopefully we get a third.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character and what role she plays? Because I know she got a little steamy with the president. Heather Locklear plays Flotus. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So my character, Annie Bell Hayes, is caught having an affair with the president of the United States, POTUS, and he has a heart attack, in the Oval Office while I'm with him, and Heather Locklear finds out and then basically kicks me out of DC and back to Happy, Alabama, where I'm basically having to face my family that I ran away from and my ex-boyfriend. So I want to say it started off in the first season very much about three girls, the three sisters, me, Brooke, and Kelly, and just kind of what happened to us as a child. And then in the second season, you kind of delve more into that with how our mother played a part. So should I?
Yeah.
Yep,
And what
yep.
your mother put you through, because she had a nice redemption at the end. She finally sees some daylight, but it was a really tough scene and just tough getting there.
It was for all of us too, and it was interesting because we all had a different approach. So for anybody that hasn't seen our characters in the first season, spoiler alert, you find out we're molested, all three, and then in the second season you find out that the mother basically was selling us.
So she could get
money and feed her whatever addiction she had at the time, but she is absolutely addicted to food. So it's very dark.
Yeah.
So that happens in the second season, and then when our mother, who's a hoarder and also just kind of confined to her own trailer, goes outside and sees the light, there's this moment where you're supposed to feel for her, like, oh my God, she finally got to see the light and she should be so happy. And she seems so happy. I mean, Trisha, who plays the mother, Jolene, did a beautiful job with that.
She was like, thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, she was so thankful to this stranger. But then, my character, especially, it was funny because Brooke and Kelly didn't feel as harsh as I was, but I, as Annie, just hated her. So it was a very weird, I couldn't play it any other way, and I don't know why. And even Tyler and TLC asked me, like, why do you want to play her like you hate your mother so much? And I'm like, I can't figure out a way to try and love this woman.
So you had a lot of control, a lot of latitude over your character and how you wanted her to look and come off the page.
Yeah. I mean, besides the fact that Tyler was like, you guys will be having barely any hair or makeup, we kind of get free range with everything else. But he's like, it's going to be nitty gritty in regards to that. But he's like, I want to see what you bring to the table. And then he loves that because then from there he feels like it allows him to write. It just comes to him. We get done filming and then he's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do with your character. And he'll say that on set too.
Wait, seriously?
He'll be like, I know what I'm going to do now, but he won't tell you.
So how does he start the day? Because I heard it's a little
oh, yes.
angelic in a way.
It is. So it's not mandatory, but at the beginning of the day, whoever wants to gathers around, you hold hands, and he just says all the things we should be grateful for. Not should be, just all the things we are. That we're there, able to do what we love. We're all happy. And if we're not, how do we find happiness? And then he'll even touch base on a couple things going on in the world. Like during, I think it was the first season, the shooting in Florida had happened. And so things like that, if there's some tragic event, he'll always, say our prayers and wishes are with the families and the ones that passed away.
And you was actually taking place at his new studio,
Yeah.
compound down in Atlanta.
It's huge.
And you got to see them build the sets and everything. You were the first show to be shot on there.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty huge.
It was. Again, it was another one of those things, like you're working with Tyler Perry, who's this mogul, and then you've got TLC's first scripted show, and then on top of it, we're the first ones to film on his new compound. So it was all quite nerve-wracking and a lot of weight to hold on our shoulders, but it was exciting too. We had a lot of fun. It kind of was nice to be this new show that kind of was able to put our footsteps down first. And I think it allowed us to be welcomed by all the other shows he has. Because then they all came and visited our set and got to see the studio.
It was like one big, giant Tyler Perry family.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. I think it helps too, and I hate to admit this, but like on most shows, if you're shooting 23 episodes or even 10 episodes, you're with the people you're working with for 16, 18 hours a day for maybe 10 weeks, 8 months, anywhere from there, like depending on the length of your show. There's something to be said about shooting so fast that... I've got to find a way to word this. You never get sick of each other.
Really? Because I thought if you were like one place, it's almost like you're on a space station. There's nowhere else to go. We got one job, one sole mission. But you're saying that you do not get sick of your co-stars and just being in that cramped space or working on these same scenes and churn them out. You don't get sick of it.
No, not at all. We actually love it. And it's such this process of like because we rehearse so much before, because we don't get to rehearse when we're on set. So we rehearse so much before as a cast, and then when we get to set, it's just kind of like doing theater, which is what Tyler came from. So I think he kind of puts that into the show, and we kind of just run with it, but we love it. It's like actors boot camp. And then because it's so accelerated, we really can't get sick of each other.
How many takes on
Just
each
sad.
shot? No, but how many takes? Is it like a one-take thing, like a little like a Woody Harrelson type
It is. It's I don't even know if you call it one take. So he has 3 handheld cameras, at least on ours. I can't speak for all the other shows he has. But on our show, it's 3 handheld cameras. And he says action, and you start the scene. And if someone goes up on a line or something, you can stop and go a little back and go again. Or if he doesn't like something, something's going too slow or moving too fast, he'll say pause or stop and try it again. But he never says cut. So it's one take, but sometimes we go back and do it once or twice or 3 times.
The magic of editing.
Which I feel, there's 4 editors working at all times. I feel so bad for them. I saw them come out of the cave once, and I was like, how are you guys doing in there?
It really is like a cave. in a way.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no windows, nothing, completely blacked out. So, but they seem to love it, and they love all the stuff that we've been giving them, so they're happy, but it's a lot of work.
So season 2 just wrapped up, and you were saying you're hoping we get a season 3.
Yeah.
When you got that call that you were going to get a season 2, like, where were you? What was that feeling like? Was it like, wow, like this is coming back again?
I don't even know where I was when I found out about season 2. I was so excited, but we're on, all 19 of us are on, everybody, not even like every series regular recurring guest star is on a group chat. And so that's like basically how it happens, is like you wake up out of bed and everybody's like, did you find out, did you find out, did you find out? And you're just like getting completely blown up by 19 different people's text messages, so.
I feel like we all have a group chat, but we all play different roles in that group chat.
Yes.
What is your role in that group?
Oh, no.
Because like some people are the lurkers, some people are talking all the time, some people are breaking news. What's your role in that group
So
chat?
I have been labeled the class president.
The class president.
Yeah, and then they're saying that they're gonna make pins next season. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am the one that organizes everything.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I enjoy it because I like being the one to get everyone together. I'm sure other people could do it too, but I just for some reasons took the reins and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. So that's why we do like the live tweeting every episode when it airs. They all come to my house and we get to live tweet. So
That's really sweet.
but I'm the class president. Good or bad?
I'd vote for you.
Thank you.
You gained like about 500,000 in ratings every single episode as compared to last season. What is it about Too Close to Home that people just want to stay close to it?
I think the characters, I think the way that he's written them and the stories and how they unfold. I feel like every episode he keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you can't stop watching.
Even when we're reading the scripts, all of us will sit there. Kelly did a video once of all of us sitting at the table reading, and you just can't stop, and you're just waiting for the next one. And even when, obviously, the season finale of episode or season 2 happens, you're sitting on the edge of your seat. Everybody's like, it has to continue. You can't end like that.
Yeah.
So,
Especially with the way it ended.
yeah, yeah. And the president shows up and happy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
That's crazy.
It is, right? See how far he's willing to go to get to me.
I know. It feels like a little controlling, a tad.
Yes, which I think is what season 1 was really about, was that you saw he was this controlling man, but now I think we're going to delve into, is it controlling or is this kind of a relationship that she actually likes?
So we're going to see you kind of become the alpha in this situation and take control of this situation? Or?
I don't know what's in Tyler's brain, so I don't know what he's going to do, but how I played it was very much, there is going to be an element where I'm stepping back into that world, I think. Because, too, I think I'm trying to live in Alabama and be part of Alabama, but really, I don't know if I really ever want to be back in Alabama. I just don't know what my other options are. I don't know if that's not a great quality. She has some pretty bad qualities about herself.
So right now you're trying to fill this time until hopefully you get to season 3.
Yes.
You were just telling me that you're working on getting some other shows. What do you have coming up?
I'm not filming anything yet, but I'm trying to book them. The Last Ship is one that during all this press, my manager and agent are like, here's 8 pages of dialogue. Go put yourself on tape. I'm like, okay. So I literally read my lines and the other person's lines and then just had to dub them in and just got like 2 hours of sleep last night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all about the work, though. I feel like people don't see the work. They always see the end result, but they don't see the work that goes into actually getting to the end result.
It's hard to call it work, though. I think we all love our job like when you love your job so much.
Oh,
you
I
know?
love it. Yeah. I wouldn't be doing anything else.
As crazy as we were talking about, it can be so stressful at times, but it's really not stress because you're like, okay, I'm going to get it done. I'm just challenging myself.
It really is challenging yourself, though.
Yeah. I like pushing myself to new limits. That's what was fun about the show is, okay, I was so scared, but if I'm not scared, something's wrong. If I'm not nervous,
Then
something's wrong. Yeah.
It's the truth. And you have nearly 20 years of experience in this industry.
Yep.
And you were in Cabbage Patch commercials.
Oh my God, no. Yes, you found out about that?
Yes,
okay.
I did. I did talk about, like, actually, well, before we get to the Cabbage Patch and the Barbie commercials.
Yes. Oh boy.
What was it like, auditioning as a child and being a child star, and how did that prepare you to kind of, record an audition in a couple hours and only get 2 hours of sleep and to manage to keep this work effort up to now?
Well, I think commercials just taught me, well, at a young age, they teach you rejection pretty early on and to not take it personally. But I think they taught me more how to like smile and be nice and happy, because that's what commercials are. Well, pretend to be happy, I guess.
You're right, yeah.
I am happy, though, don't worry. Yeah, I think they taught me more about that and how to be, like an adult on set and what the ethics are and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't teach me how to go like work hard. I shouldn't say work hard. They didn't teach me the crazy schedule of learning lines and having to shoot 16, 18 hours, because commercials, they shoot so fast. And
It's one day, right?
It's one day, and you're just kind of holding up whatever the prop is for the day and smiling. And so it taught me how to always, I smiled too much. And then my acting coach was like, stop smiling. The character's not supposed to be smiling.
So I was about to say, you can't ever smile too much, but if an acting coach is telling you,
Yeah.
then maybe you can.
Yeah, it's good. I've played a couple killers who actually it works in my favor, because it's so creepy when I do smile that I'm like, okay, this works. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, random little fact.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's keep
CSIs.
going. So, Mattel,
Yes.
were you the kid that was like, here are the toys, go, and they're just gonna hit record? Like,
Yes, absolutely. I love just playing with them. I think that's how I don't know how I got the jobs. Like, I really did just fall into it. When I was in second grade, my best friend's mom was the assistant to an agent, and my mom was like, absolutely not. I'm not getting Danielle into it.
so she wasn't down for this at all?
No, my mom and dad were not for it at all. And finally, my friend's mom put the idea so much in my head that I finally convinced my mom just to take me to the agent. And she's like, fine. The agent would not let my mom in the room, just met with me as a 7-year-old, signed me that day. And then I went on my mom took me to an audition. It was for Mattel, and it was a 2-year deal.
Wow.
And it's been weird. I mean, obviously that was how it started, and now there's been, ups and downs in the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think I just loved playing with toys. I was a hyper kid. I loved smiling then. So I kind of just fell into the all-American girl look. The blonde hair, blue eyes, and big smile.
And speaking of American Girl, you won't even walk into those stores anymore?
I don't, because I used to be on all the boxes and all the packaging and all the magazines. It's embarrassing. Like, a part of you thinks it's very cool to be on, especially Halloween costumes too. I did like all the Halloween costumes that you'd go and buy in the Halloween store.
Serious?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, though.
It's embarrassing when you're like now when I was in high school. My friends are still finding those pictures when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, wearing ridiculous pirate costumes. Like, it's quite embarrassing.
And actually, one thing that was really interesting to me is that you were part of a singing group that kind of dissolved before you guys went to college.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I was actually part of two. So yeah, I got, and that was a weird one that happened too. My sister was actually the one auditioning for another music band at this dance complex in LA, and they saw me sitting there, and they're like, "Would you want to?" And I was like, "Sure." And I love to sing, but I wasn't anything like. There was no training. So I ended up signing with them and being part of a 5-girl group called Sweet Obsession. That kind of dissolved, and then I started my own called Trinity, which I did with 3 girls. We toured with Radio Disney, and then that one dissolved because I got Kaya on MTV.
Yes.
With Corey and Justin and Joe.
Which was like a show about being a rock star.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what an interesting juxtaposition, and that absolved. But it only got one season.
It did. It was, it was scary then too, because it was MTV's first scripted. No one knows about that one. They always think about the ones after. It was MTV's first scripted show.
You're a woman of firsts.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice.
But this one we're doing better. First one only lasted 1 season. But it was exciting. I forgot what I was saying. That's what happened.
Talk about Kaya. It was exciting shooting Kaya. You got it. And
Yeah.
MTV's first.
So it was that's kind of it. But that one, after I got done with that, acting started picking up a lot, and so I couldn't give time for music, even though I still love it and would love to do it. A couple of our cast members on Too Close to Home sing, so they'll get together and have jam sessions. So we have a lot of fun with that. But
What type of music was it? It was like
it was
pop.
pop.
Music.
It was absolutely pop. Like, my idol was Britney Spears and Mandy Moore and Jessica Simpson. So pop.
Are you listening to anybody now?
I love listening to like very random stuff. Like not random, it's the stuff that's on,
It's pop.
I love Kygo a lot for some
Yes.
reason right now. Like everything he does, I'm like, you're amazing.
It's like you just want to smile every time you listen to Kygo.
Yes, and
you
I'm
know?
always doing this. And in LA, like your music is such a huge part because you're always driving.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely makes me happy.
So you were also in Bring It On.
Yeah, bring it on, all or nothing.
So what is the thing when people see you on the street, what do people recognize you the most for? Is it that? Is it Too Close to Home? Is it Boogeyman?
It's changing between Bring It On, All or Nothing and Boogeyman 2. I'd say those are pretty even until this. And now this is the one that people are stopping me the most for. Wow. It's kind of interesting, though, because no one, in my day-to-day, like, I don't normally look like this. Like, this is a team of people. I'm, no makeup, hair in a bun, and, like, walking around with, like, a coat or big sweater or something. And so people are always like, you look so familiar. You look like this girl on the show. You look just like her. Has anyone ever told you that? I'm like, no, I don't know.
It's like I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. And then every once in a while, I'll be like, that's me. Yeah, I know. But it's so weird when you do say, because then they're like, really? No, that's not you. Like one person came up to me once and was like, I know you. And I'm like, I don't know. What could it be? And I finally said I'm an actress. And then she's like, no, that's not it. I was like, okay. And then she started listing her high school or junior high. And I was like, sorry, I don't
It's like,
know.
no, I think this is it. Like,
But I wasn't going to be the one to say that. I was like, no.
So you say hair in a bun. Did Brock O'Hearn teach you some man bun tips?
He has taught me how to make a fast bun. His is so fast that he's taught me to make it faster, but it's kind of messy. I mean, he can do that. He can get away with it. It's Brock O'Hearn.
Yeah, he doesn't. I think he just has to just wake up and just.
That is what he
turn on the
does.
camera. Yeah.
He even comes to like most of our photo shoots, like he just jumped out of the shower. Like his hair's still wet and somehow it just dries before the photo flashes.
It's like, hey.
Yes. And that's basically all he has to do too. 6'7" giant walking in. You're like, okay.
Yeah, he's huge.
Huge. Yeah, him and because I don't know if you know, Tyler's very tall too. And it's like a competition. I think Tyler's still about like a half an inch taller than Brock.
I didn't know Tyler was that tall.
Yeah, he's very tall.
Wow, Medea must be imposing.
Yes, I know. I always think about that now when I watch Medea films because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so tall. He's so tall.
Yeah, but it must be terrifying.
Yes.
She came at you with like a chainsaw.
Well, even just the whole the outfit that he wears on underneath that. One of our stunt doubles had to put it on one day to do a scene in our show, and it was quite comical. That is what I always stare at now, like the actual outfit he wears on underneath to look like a woman. I know it's very random, but that was a picture I'll show it to you later.
So I think we have some audience questions.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Chanel.
Hi, Chanel.
And I just wanted to ask you, how bizarre is it since season 1 to play such a role that is nothing like you are in real life?
Are you saying I'm like a nice person? I'm not like a bad person that had an affair with the president?
You smile too much.
Yeah, that's the problem. It gives it away. It's amazing. Like I think I said it earlier, the challenge, if it's not a challenge, if something's not making me nervous and like, how do I play this? And making me kind of spin my wheels to figure it out, then something's wrong. So I love it. I love the challenge. More scary than anything was I gonna upset Tyler? Was I gonna live up to what he wanted? But what was beautiful is like, he's like, I cast you because you are the role. I want to see what you do with it. And even though that was scary at first, when I got to set the first day, I was so nervous that first day.
But if you're not nervous.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
But I felt so proud after that day, and I did everything I wanted to do with the scenes. And he like came up to me once after the second scene, and he's like, that's what I want. Because it was like a scene where I was supposed to get emotional, but not really. It's one of those tough ones where you're like, okay, I'm not supposed to cry, but I'm almost crying. You're like, okay, how do I do this? And he came up to me after, he's like, that's exactly what I want. And I'm like, okay, make sure you always challenge me. Like, instead of just saying thank you, I was like, don't ever set the bar low. Always challenge me to be better. Since you know what I'm capable of, or you see what I'm capable of, always push me further. So it's challenging. As long as there's a challenge, it's worth it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. We have another question?
Hi, thank you for being here.
Of course, thanks.
So I have a question for you. If you could play any other character on your show, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Oh. I mean, I think we all want to play Robert Craighead, who plays the sheriff.
Yeah.
Like, Sheriff Mobley's just awesome. But he's like, he just gets to give the jokes, and he walks around, and he never does anything. Like, Robert gets a little mad because we're like, he never takes anyone to jail, he never does his job, and now he's starting
Just
to get
chilling.
offensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, I mean, I don't know. admire and respect Brooke and Kelly, who play my two sisters, so much. I mean, I would love to have the challenge they have. Like, all of us love that our characters are so having to push those boundaries. So I'd love to play those roles, but I don't think I could do what they do, so.
Could you play your mom?
No. Trish is one of a kind.
Yeah.
She
does a great job.
She does such an amazing job, and she's got such a great spirit about her, too, and she comes to set, and it's kind of this crazy thing that she plays. I don't know if you saw that one episode where I spit on her, and I had to delve in and really hate.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really have to really hate her, but as Anna, but as Danielle, I just love her so much, and I think she does such a great job with that role that sometimes it's hard to do.
That must have been a really tough scene to shoot.
It was. It was, too, because it was all four of us, and the scenes go on sometimes, which helps with how we shoot. The scenes go on for, 11 pages, which is crazy, and sometimes you're just sitting there, you're not wanting to do this, but some days when you're exhausted, you're like, what's my cue? What's my cue? When am I supposed to come in? When am I supposed to come in? But then you remind yourself, no, my job is to listen, and then when I'm listening, it should just come naturally. But, those scenes are very hard to shoot. Just because, too, especially when it's, with me and the girls, it's that scene, especially in the season 2 when we confront our mother, Brooke confronts our mother. That was tough because I was having to sit there watch her go through it.
Yeah.
And she
You're empathizing.
Yeah. Which is hard because would Anna, So I sometimes, as I'm watching that unfold, going, okay, I'm feeling for her right now, but would Anna, I've got to so the wheels are spinning.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm getting to play every day.
I could feel it too, just in talking to you and sitting here for you.
Oh,
It's the
good.
truth, yeah.
Good.
We have one more.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
I wanted to know, were you familiar with Tyler Perry's work before you started Too Close to Home?
No. Yeah,
And
sorry.
if you were, is it your imagination of being a part of a Tyler Perry production? Is it what you thought it would be?
So I didn't know about his shows at all. I knew about the comedies, like House of Pain. There's another one I'm forgetting that I knew about, Meet the Browns. Mm-hmm. I knew about those two, but I didn't know about his dramas at all. So this is so different than his other dramas too. He made a point to the hair and makeup, like I told you with we're not making them glamorous. This is nitty gritty. We don't want them looking pretty, basically is what he said, which is no actress wants to hear that. I wasn't familiar with how he shot. My agent manager kind of told me that when we were going through negotiations for contracts. They're like, this is going to be a fast shoot, and I'm like, let's do it. I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into? But I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I admired him so much for what he'd done in the industry. I knew of his films. I'd seen a couple of the Medea films, but I really didn't. And I knew that he started from stage and that his backstory of his personal life too. So from all those things, I just respected him as a fellow thespian.
It's how could you not, though?
You can't, yeah. And then getting to know him, it's it's sad. There are some people in this industry that you meet and you're really disappointed. You're like, oh, wow, I wish I'd never met you.
Because there's always a famous saying, don't meet your heroes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it happens. And it's very sad. Some people say, what actors would you want to work with? And I kind of don't want to name the ones I really would want to work with because I'm so afraid that, I'll be disappointed and all those childhood dreams will kind of just fizzle away.
It'll come crashing down.
But Tyler just exceeded all expectations and everything I had thought.
So before we get out of here, for someone that was once cringing looking at themselves on Halloween costumes and small photos, what did it feel like to see yourself on a billboard for the first time?
Oh my God, I freaked out. And it was on the West Side Highway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes me so nervous. That was such a good memory. I think I scared that Uber driver so much. I got in the Uber because I couldn't get to the up.
Oh.
I didn't have a car here.
Oh, yeah.
And so I took an Uber over there, and then I got out of the Uber and was walking around trying to find a way to take a picture of that billboard, and I couldn't. There was no angle. I couldn't get to it. I'm like, I've got to drive in a car. I've got to basically do a drive-by, lean out the window like a dog and take a picture of the billboard. And so I got an Uber, and I got in the Uber, and I was like, okay, listen, I need you to just drive back a couple of times because I need to take a picture of a billboard. And then he starts asking me about the billboard because I didn't want to say, that's me. Because I'm just such a giddy little girl with that stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. So I got in the car and I told him the story. And next thing you know, he's like, yeah, let's do this. I think I racked up an $80 Uber bill.
Oh, so he was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, let's do this. I'll just keep racking it up. But we drove back and forth to get the perfect picture. And I think the perfect one was the first or second I took. But I took so many of that billboard because it was just so exciting. I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen myself up on that big, huge. I don't even know how big billboards are.
30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, I'd never seen that before.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Danielle Savre, everybody. Make sure you check out Too Close to Home. It's on TLC. Hopefully they get a third season.
Yes.
Yes, we're crossing our fingers. Well, I'm Jacques
think it's
Morel.
happening.
This is Build. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.